We are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, it is conference championship weekend, guys. We are going to iron out some things here today and talk about the overall seeding when it comes to Selection Sunday Eve. Obviously, Selection Sunday happening tomorrow afternoon. There are still some games to be played today, but there are a lot of things we know when it comes to the current state of March Madness, guys. It is time for Bracketology 6.0. I believe I'm losing count at this point. It's been so many. It is 6.0. My final one, guys. Like I said, tomorrow, the second Selection Sunday happens, I'm making a bracket. I'm uploading it to YouTube. It's a don't think, just go process. You don't think, you just go. It's gut instinct. And guys, I don't want to brag too much. I don't want to, lead people on, but there will be a lot of upsets in my bracket. I think it's been a crazy season due to the coronavirus. You've got teams like Baylor struggling right now. You've got teams like Michigan who haven't been very impressive, losing their star Livers out. Looks like he's out for the year with a foot injury. But guys, looking today, we've got heavyweight matchups across the docket. Iowa and Illinois. I expect Illinois to win that game. But again, Iowa's really good offensively. We'll see what happens there. Look at that matchup quality, almost 99 percentile there. The BPI does have Iowa as a very slight favorite. How about Tennessee and Alabama? The SEC, I'm not high on it. I'm sure many people know that if you watch my videos. Very good game here, though. Toss-up Alabama destroying Mississippi State yesterday. Guys, Mississippi State was 1 of 19 from threes. How can I take the SEC seriously? It's pathetic. LSU, Arkansas. You know what? I mean, I would probably say, I guess, Arkansas, but it's just a crapshoot. How about this one? Ohio State, Michigan. Kyle Young out with a concussion. Isaiah Livers out with a foot injury. Ohio State getting a big win, a quad one win yesterday against Purdue. They struggled again, though. You're up by 18 at the end of the first half. You're giving up leads like crazy. They come back. They're able to win in overtime. Ohio State without Kyle Young. That's going to be tough. Michigan didn't look that great against Maryland yesterday. How about Juwan Howard? You're a head coach, dude. Show some class. You're going to square up with Mark Turgeon. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You need to have some self-control over yourself. Moving on, we've got Oklahoma State and Texas. We had Texas advancing due to the COVID issues. Oklahoma State, who would have thought? Oklahoma State advances over. They beat Baylor. Baylor's a team that's trending down, but they are a lock for a 1 seed. Georgia Tech, Florida State. Georgia Tech advancing due to COVID. Florida State getting a big win over North Carolina. They were in control of that full game. North Carolina came back late, but it was a good win for Florida State. That's on at 8:30 tonight. I love Georgia Tech, ladies and gentlemen. I think they win this game, surprisingly. Utah State, San Diego State. San Diego State's on a run right now, guys. You do not want to face them. How about North Texas, Western Kentucky? Give me Western Kentucky in that one. I'm a fan of them. Memphis and Houston. Houston not playing great basketball right now. Memphis, very defensive-minded team. One of the top defenses in college basketball. Many people probably don't know that, but they're a team. They win that game, they're going to steal a bit from someone. Georgetown and Creighton. If Georgetown wins, they will be stealing a bit from someone. Just looking at some of these games. How about Oregon State getting into the Pac-10 championship game? Yeah, it's just a bad conference. It really is. They will take on Colorado. We expect Colorado to win that game, but I will be rooting for Oregon State. It would be random to see them make the tournament and the March Madness. That'd be pretty funny. How about Cincinnati? They've been playing really well. They'll be taking on Wichita State. Give me Cincinnati in that game. I like it. I like Grand Canyon over New Mexico State. Abilene Christian and Nichols. We had the Northwestern State. We were rooting for them. It didn't end up happening. How about Nichols in this one? I know Abilene Christian is the favorite. I'd like to see Nichols win. How about UMass Lowell? Guys, this is my team. I've said it from the beginning. They're actually playing right now. Can we get a score update on them? They started at 11 a.m. Montana State, Eastern Washington. Iona, can Rick Pitino make it back? They're massive favorites over Fairfield. But guys, when it comes to the story right now, UMass Lowell looks like they're underway. Can we get a score update, please? See, this is the thing with ESPN. You know what? We're going to advance today. I need to get a score update on UMass Lowell. They're trying to get into the NCAA tournament, and where's the game at? Oh my goodness, guys. This is the problem with ESPN. They only show the ranked matchups, really. and 15 hours later, we finally get it pulled up. They're losing by 5 right now. This is just some good, hard-nosed American East defensive basketball right here. You've got a 23-18 score. How is it that low scoring? Oh, my God. Top performers, 2 points for UMass. Dude, if UMass wins, oh, it's going to be so funny. The thing is, I kind of hope UMass actually loses because, you know, it's almost like I'm forced to pick them in a round 1 upset because it's just a funny thing to do. I don't know. The first Bracketology 1.0, I said UMass Lowell is going to win their tournament. And they're 11 and 11. They're not a good team. The only reason I know of them is because they faced Ohio State earlier this year and almost beat Ohio State. It was a surprisingly close game, but so we'll see what happens with that when it comes to the American East. But guys, when it comes to the bracket matrix, we have the number 1 overall seeds, I believed, already decided. You have Gonzaga as the clear number 1 overall seed. They're unbeaten right now. Baylor, it was a bad loss. They're trending downward, but they definitely have done enough according to their resume. They play in the second toughest conference in college basketball. They will take the other number 1 overall seed. You've got Michigan, who they also had a COVID situation earlier this year, but even if they lose to Ohio State, I still think they're getting a number 1 overall seed. And then you've got Illinois, who just got another big, or not really a big win. They destroyed Rutgers, but even if they lose to Iowa, I still think they'll get that 4th and final number 1 overall seed. If Illinois wins the Big Ten tournament, I think they will be a massive trendy pick among brackets to go all the way because they're playing really good basketball right now. They get Iowa today. We'll see. When it comes to teams possibly jumping to the 1 line, Alabama just doesn't have the resume. Even if they win the SEC, I think they have like the 30th overall strength of schedule. It's just not good enough. Iowa as well. I mean, if Iowa wins the Big Ten, could they jump Illinois? I'm not seeing it. I think they're locked into a 2 seed. Ohio State's the other one if they beat Michigan and then they beat Illinois. Ohio State, the problem is they have 8 losses already. I don't think you could put an 8-loss team on that 1 line. Houston's been trending downward. They get Memphis today. We'll see if they can win their conference tournament, but they're definitely going to be locked into that 2, maybe 3 seed. If they end up losing, they'll definitely fall to at least a 3. Arkansas, if they win the SEC, do they get bumped up over Houston on the 2 line? I think probably. I think they probably do. I think Kansas is locked into a 3 seed. They had the COVID issue. We're not going to worry about COVID, guys. We will not let COVID take another March Madness away from us. We're not going to let it happen. Oklahoma State, people are making me hate Cade Cunningham. I just don't think Oklahoma State's that good, but they keep winning. They take on Texas. This is a huge game. If Oklahoma State wins the Big 12, do they jump to a 2 seed? It could happen. They're at least at the top of the 3 line if they do it. Same thing with Texas. Texas now, they're I've always been high on Texas. They got a pass, yesterday with the game being due to COVID. They kind of advanced, whatever. But West Virginia, I think they're a solid 4 seed. Purdue loses to Ohio State. They're 1 and done in the Big Ten tournament. They're a 4 seed. Virginia has the COVID issue. Really nothing you can do about that. Villanova playing bad basketball right now. They're a fringe 4 seed. Florida State, they had a big win against North Carolina. They're a 5 seed. USC, I'm not buying at all. I'm not buying them. Creighton, I think they won yesterday. I believe they beat UConn. UConn's actually a team that people are really high on right now. They did have some big blowout wins. Tennessee had a big win yesterday against Florida. I thought Florida was going to win. Tennessee controlled the whole game. They completely proved me wrong. That was a good win. Texas Tech, I don't love them. Colorado, I think they'll win the Pac-12, but I don't love them. Oregon, I don't mind Oregon. I actually think Oregon might be the best team in the Pac-12. We'll have to see. Missouri, it is what it is. Let's go down to some of the bubble teams here, though, guys. You've got the bubble. You've got UCLA. UCLA is really trending downward. They're going to make the tournament, but man, looks like Georgia Tech is firmly in the field. Virginia Commonwealth looks firmly in the field. Maryland does as well after their big win against Michigan State, even though they lost to Michigan yesterday. St. Bonaventure clearly in the bracket out of the Atlantic 10. We've got Wichita State taking on Cincinnati today in the American. Going to be a big game for them when it comes to the bubble. Louisville, they got knocked out of the ACC tournament quickly. They're on the bubble. Drake, one of the Final Four teams in. I actually like Drake a lot. I'm sick of hearing about Loyola Chicago. Colorado State, they've been on the bubble for a while. Syracuse, Utah State, and then you've got Western Kentucky, guys, and then here are just some other teams. Ole Miss, Boise State. I really like Boise State. You've got St. Louis. I really like St. Louis. And Seton Hall, who's been on there for a while. Just some other teams. How about Wright State getting a shout out from the Horizon League? They didn't even win their league. St. John's, they need a miracle. Indiana showing up in one bracket. Okay, I can see it. Penn State showing up in a few brackets. I like it. I like what they're doing there. Penn State's a solid team. Memphis, we'll see if they can beat Houston today. It'll come down to that. But guys, what was I going to go to? This is Joe Lunardi's updated bracketology. 2:15 a.m. This guy's on crack. I don't know how late he's staying up. This is unbelievable. Bracket watch, first overall seed. We know it's Gonzaga. First team out. Moves it to Colorado State. I hope Colorado State makes the tournament personally. And how about St. Louis, last team in, very interesting there. Virginia Commonwealth, last 4 byes. I'm not a fan of Virginia Commonwealth. They always seem to lose in the first round. We've seen their script. Why don't we let another team in? UCLA, they've been trending downward. They're going to make the tournament, but man, do they look bad. Michigan State, they have those huge top 10 wins, top 5 wins. They've got the win against Michigan, Illinois, and Ohio State. Louisville, trending downwards right now. How about the last 4 teams in? Drake, Utah State, St. Louis, and the first teams out. Ole Miss kind of trending upward. They were on the next 4 outline. They're trending upward. Boise State. And then when it comes to these next 4 teams out, they're going to need a miracle. We've got Seton Hall. We've got Xavier. How about St. John's? And then SMU gets a shout out. Southern Methodist. Very interesting there, guys. When it comes to Joe Lunardi's overall tournament, I will say, you're looking at a team like Ohio State at a 2 seed. This is a very bad draw for Ohio State. This is why beating Michigan would be so big for Ohio State. It would move them up the 2 line. It wouldn't give them a 1 seed, but it would move them up that 2 line to where, you know, you get seeded with a 3 seed in Texas. That's rough. The 1 seed's Gonzaga, the number 1 overall team. So that is not a great seed. If I was a 2 seed and I wanted to be seeded with the easiest 3 seed, I would look for, you've got Arkansas, you've got Houston, and you've got Kansas. I would probably want to be seeded with Houston, to be honest with you. And then Arkansas would be probably the second easiest team to be seeded with, then Kansas. And obviously Texas is the toughest 3 seed in this bracket right now. Just looking at the overall 15 seeds, you've got Cleveland State, you've got Iona, you've got Oral Roberts. When it sets up for some of these other teams, you know, you guys can see, I'm really not going to go over that too much. But guys, these games today are absolutely massive. Can we get another scoring update, please? UMass. We need a win here, guys. This is my team. This is my March Madness team. We get a scoring update. Maybe it's still at the half. They have these long half times. This is a primetime game, ladies and gentlemen. 11 a.m. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. It's 23-18 at half. What am I doing with my life? Top performers, 2 points. Max Brooks. Shout out to Max Brooks. But guys, there you can see it. I think the number 1 seeds are already set no matter what happens. These are going to be the number 1 seeds in, I think Illinois might jump Michigan depending on what happens in the Big Ten tournament. Michigan, Ohio State play today. You just take a look at these games. Guys, my Mac is so slow, but you just take a look at some of these games and just the matchup quality of them. Look at how many 90-plus matchup scores there are. These are all very elite matchups. I would say Ohio State and Michigan should probably be, quite honestly, the number 1 matchup of the day. I mean, these 2 teams played the game of the year back in Columbus. Michigan edged out Ohio State 92-87. So we will see what happens there. But guys, Iowa, Illinois, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU, Arkansas, Ohio State, Michigan, Oklahoma State, Texas, Georgia Tech, Florida State. These games are huge. And we have Selection Sunday coming tomorrow, guys. It's going to happen quickly. The Big Ten tournament finale is tomorrow as well, and so is the SEC tournament. So we'll see what happens with those. But again, I think the number 1 seeds have already been determined. There's some wiggle room with that 2 and that 3, depending on, can Arkansas win the SEC? If they do, I think they move up to a 2 seed. I think Ohio State's locked into a 2 seed. I think Iowa is locked into a 2 seed. I think Alabama probably very likely is locked into a 2 seed. But with Houston as the other 2 seed right now, there's some wiggle room. Let's say Houston loses. Yeah, I could see them dropping to a 3 very easily. They haven't played great basketball. And guys, remember the big storyline. These elite teams not playing great down the stretch. Baylor's lost some games. Michigan hasn't looked great. Houston's looked poor. There's going to be some major upsets in my bracket tomorrow when I fill it out. I am so pumped and fired up. We got the first 4 coming up on Thursday, and then the round of 64 starts on Friday, Saturday. Unbelievable, guys. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. Guys, I am, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.